Hi Sherry, Oceana here with G3 Agency with your free website audit for Concrete Flatwork Inc. in Atlanta, Georgia. In this free SEO website audit provided by G3 Agency, I'm going to show you 3 to 4 things that you can do to get concrete flatwork in front of the people who are searching for concrete services in the Atlanta metro area. Like I said on the phone, I don't expect anything in return for this video. Basically, I'm really trying to just do a lot of good in the world, and I wake up every morning and I'm motivated to help local businesses because of my own history with my family, and so this is what I do. So I'm just gonna jump right in and do the best I can for you. So the first thing that I always look for when I'm auditing a website is a big click to call phone number somewhere at the top, which you don't have. The reason that you should really add this is almost 70% of the people that are going to be on your website are going to be on their phones, statistically, and having that big click to call phone number, especially if it follows as you go down here, so like it kind of disappears, that bar, if it follows you down the page, then that phone number is always there, and that's going to help, basically really help with the conversions of how many people actually end up calling after they end up on your site. But that's all I'm really going to talk about when it comes to usability. The rest of this video is really going to be focused on how to get people to come to your site. So the next thing I'm going to cover is content. And when I say content, I mean all the words on the page as well as what the images are saved as. So first of all, the amount of words on your homepage is definitely going to need some additional words here. Google sees content as king. Basically, it thinks that if you have more information on a subject matter, that must mean that you know more, and that must mean that you must be the most relevant person to put in front of the searcher. So you're going to want to increase the word count. We suggest to our clients that they have at least 3,000 on their homepage and at least 1,500 on their other pages in order to show Google that they're an expert in their subject. And then if I right click on an image and click Save Image As, I can see this image was saved as RS equals W blah blah blah. So that's not helping. What you want to do is actually save all these images again, but this time save them as actual keywords or key phrases that people are typing into Google when they're looking for your services and they're in your service area. So I will show you how to find those keywords and actually show you a couple that might interest you. But first, I'm going to jump over to this tool. It's called Ahrefs, and what it does is it gives me an in-depth look into how a website is performing, because it's one thing for a website to look nice, which yours looks pretty, and there are some big images, and that's great. But it's another thing for the website to actually function as a lead generation machine, which is what my specialty is. So if we look right here, your UR and DR scores, what these are is a scale from 0 to 100. How trustworthy does Google think that your web page is, the exact web page, so in this case your home page, and your entire website as a whole, respectively. So these are very low numbers. So how you're going to want to raise them is with backlinks and referring domains. So a backlink is any time that there's a link from another website that comes back to your website. It'll lead a visitor over to you, right? And then a referring domain is whatever website that link is on. So there is one website out there on the internet somewhere that has 2 different links to your site on it. I can tell from this right here. And I can actually click and see what website it is. It is the Builder Market. I see this one quite frequently, and I think as far as I can tell, it's a perfectly fine backlink to have. Be careful as you go and get more backlinks, though, that you make sure that the DR scores, remember this domain rating from your scores on the last page, that their DR scores are in the 30s, 40s, or hopefully even higher. Low scores can pull your score down or keep you at a low level. It really is a popularity contest when it comes to backlinks, and they can get kind of fuzzy, kind of complicated, but the main thing to remember is that if it's a relevant site, if it's coming from a site that has something to do with what you do, and they're coming from a trustworthy site, you're probably good to go. Okay, so let's talk about keywords. So you're not currently showing up for any keywords, but we can see here I put in Concrete Atlanta as a subject basically, and it popped out all these suggestions for what keywords might be helpful. This first one is kind of a dud. I think Concrete Patio Pavers Atlanta. I didn't see anything about pavers on your site, so unless you offer that and I just didn't see it, this probably wouldn't be helpful to you. But concrete companies in Atlanta probably would be. So there's a couple things I look for when I see when I'm looking at these keywords, right? So I look at the keyword itself. There's a couple things. First, it has to have something that you do and somewhere that you do it for it to be a good keyword. So concrete companies in Atlanta does count. But if it was just concrete companies, this number here, this volume, this is another metric that we see. This volume would be a lot higher if it was just concrete companies and not in Atlanta, right? But the problem is you wouldn't know if that person is in Atlanta or even in Georgia. Typing that in. So it's really better to go after the ones that have some place that you do it as well. 100 people are typing this into Google each month on average, and that's how we come up with this figure. And then we have this figure right here, KD. That stands for keyword difficulty. And basically it's on a scale from 0 to 10. How difficult does Ahrefs, this tool, think it would be to get to the first page of Google? So a score of 10 you would think is extremely low. I mean, 10 out of 100 is basically 1 out of 10. That's pretty low, right? But when it comes to competition and all that, 10, you're really starting to get into where it's going to start taking a little longer to show up for those keywords. So we really like keywords with lower scores like this 0 here. I said here twice. But Thomas Concrete, Atlanta, Georgia, I think that's probably a brand name. So that's not as helpful. You can save an image as this and then hope that you show up, but you're also fighting against how the person already is looking for a certain brand. So you're a lot less likely to get that click, and it's just it's not as good as something like Concrete Contractor Atlanta, where you have 100 people searching for it and it's got a keyword difficulty of 9. It'll take longer to show up for that word, but you're also going to be showing up in front of the right people. So okay, so I'm going to focus on this concrete companies in Atlanta for the rest of this video. So if I type this in as an example, and you can do this with each of these keywords, right? This is kind of the process. So you put it into Google and see what comes up. First, usually there's some ads at the top. They're not showing up. It doesn't matter. Most people scroll past that. And then we have the map pack. So how you get into the map pack is a little different than how you end up in the organics down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little sidebar, tell you how to get it up into the map pack, and then we'll go back to organic results. So how you get to the map pack is with citations. Citation is similar to a backlink in that it is a reference to your business from anywhere on the internet, and it also does carry with it some credibility, authority, and it helps you show up on the first page of Google. The difference is, while a backlink is a link from another site back to yours, a citation is a listing of your name, address, and phone number the same way it appears on your Google My Business when you sign in. So if you look up your own business name, and if that's not enough, you can add your phone number to it, you'll find on this side of the Google results, you'll see a card that looks similar to this, but not quite the same. It'll have your name, it'll have your address, your phone number, it'll probably have a picture and or a map up here. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your name, address, and phone number are perfectly spelled right. That way, when you go and you list that on different directories like Yext, Yelp, City Star, White Pages, Yellow Pages, Facebook, all these different places, Google will pick up on it. Google will pick up on it and basically see that as votes of confidence that your website, your business, is credible and relevant and popular, right? So that is how you get up into the map pack, is with lots of citations. Okay, so now we're going to go back to here. So this is the #1 organic result. You do want to be in this spot right here. Right now it's being taken up by Home Advisor. The second spot is Angie's List. Then we have Hema Concrete, which is the first local competitor. So that's really the one we're going to compare you with. So this local competitor is likely getting about 15% of all the people coming to this page, which out of 100 is 15. Go figure. So let's check out what they're doing. And basically what we want to do is we've gone to their website and we want to see what it is that they're doing right, what it is that we can do to get ahead of them. Basically, can we copy anything that they're doing? What is it that has them showing up at the top? So first of all, content, right? How many words are on their page? They don't have as many words even as you do on their homepage, so that's not what's getting them there. And then we can actually right click on their images if we can find some. Is this a regular image? Save image as? No. Save image as? Yay! Okay. This is Avalon main photo new. So they're not using, they're not saving their images as those key phrases we were talking about. So that's another way that we can get ahead. So content and the saving the images properly, that's great. So what is it that they're doing to get ahead here? I see, it's backlinks. So as we can see, they've got a UR score of 31. That's quite a bit higher, but their DR score isn't very high. So what that tells me is that they've put a lot of work into being seen as credible and getting this homepage seen, but they haven't put as much effort into the rest of their website. So that becomes an imbalance here. You can see how it's, it's much smaller over there than it is over here, and that puts them on unsteady footing. So that's another clue that it might be not too hard to knock them out of that third place. And take it for ourselves, and then it's just about trying to get past the directory results, which is another challenge in itself, but it's basically with the same kind of work. You just keep doing it. So we can see their backlinks. We can actually look at their referring domains and see if any of them are good for us to use too, but instead of using our time to do that, I'm going to check out their organic keywords. So if I click on this, I can see that they're showing up in the first position for Concrete Contractor Atlanta. I can see that 100 people are typing that. It's got a keyword difficulty of 9, and they're getting 31 traffic from that. Remember I said that that first spot gets about 30% of all the traffic? I don't know if I said that actually. Well, it does. It gets about 30% of all that traffic, and sure enough, there it is, 31. And that's because they're in that first position. But I'm going to show you something else here. So we got that first position again. 2,200 people are typing driveway apron. So why is it that they're sitting in the first place and they're only getting 21 traffic? Well, that's because where does it say their name, the area? It doesn't. So these people could be in New York, they could be anywhere. So they're not going to get as much traffic, and it's not going to be very helpful when they do. So, but we can go down here and try to find other ones that might be helpful for us. Concrete Company in Atlanta, there's 50 people searching for that. It's got a lower KD. Concrete Atlanta, there's 80 people, 5 KD. So we can kind of come down here and see the different the keywords that we might want to take advantage of, right? So that's kind of fun. I guess my idea of fun is kind of different. So here you go. This is my information if you want to get a hold of me. And actually, I meant to go like this so you can see it better. Okay, this is my phone number and my email address at the top left there. Just a real quick recap for you. You want to increase the content on your site. Implement backlinks to rank for high volume keywords like Concrete Atlanta or Concrete Companies in Atlanta. And then you want to add citations. Remember, that's your name, address, and phone number, exactly as it's written on your GMB or Google My Business. And then add that same information, spelled just the same way, to directories all over the internet. I hope that you found this helpful, and I look forward to your feedback.